Good morning. Happy Friday. It is Friday, July 21st. My name is PK. This is the Bookeemonsters morning coffee. We made it through the week. Good for you. We did it. Good morning, Mary. TGIF. For some reason, this week has seemed really long. Um, each day has had like a week in it. Each day. Yes, thank you. 5 days in a row. I did not miss one. Um, we are here to talk about books and reading and uh, things like that that make us happy. I'm going to I'm doing a couple clicky things here. Cajun, hello. Oh, I'm glad you're off work today. It would be so nice. But I'm married to the boss, so I don't get any days off. Also waiting for the cable guy, so it may disappear. We'll come back. Okay. Yeah. Cable guys, I think cable people are like, yeah, we might be there today. And ask for a time. I work for my husband. We do garage doors, and we can't give a specific time either. I don't slam anybody for that because you just don't know how long each stop takes. But waiting. Cajun, just to keep in mind, I'm only here until 6:25 for 25 minutes because then I have to head to work myself. Ah, the static is back. I wonder what that is doing. I wonder if it's a connecting thing. I don't know. We'll have to play with that. Between 8 and 10. Exactly. At least they're saying morning. So, yep, it won't be a huge commitment. It is every day, but it is only for 25 minutes. So, time enough to drink a coffee. I need a lot of coffee today because I was bad. I stayed up. Well, I didn't stay up, but every time I was awake to use the bathroom, I read. And I finished the advanced reading copy that I have of The Traitor by Ava Glass. So I finished it last night. So that was one of the things I was doing here behind the scenes. I was going into here to say, hang on a second. I'm going to edit my activity and say, yeah, we'll put today's date because it was like 1 in the morning. And I'm going to give it, technically, I'm giving it 4.5 stars. I wish Goodreads would let us do halves. I'm not even asking for quarters or less than that. Just let's give us a half. I really, really loved this first book. If you remember me raving about it earlier this week. This book actually comes out in September, and I do have a physical copy ordered. It is so good. If you kind of picture James Bond as a female. I stayed up way too late last night. Watched a video cast on which was very interesting, but I didn't realize how late it was when I started it. Well, you're retired. You get to do stuff like that. That is awesome. When you have the chance to do stuff like that, do it. Do it. It makes you happy. Do it. So I finished this one. Really liked it. I took off half a star in my rating. And again, ratings are very personal to me. Using the five-star system here. 3 is I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a good read. Not a waste of my time. 4 stars. I liked it a lot. I would recommend it. 5 stars blew me away. 2 stars. I was disappointed. 1 star. As Sarah says, I gave myself a point for actually reading it. But so this one I gave 4.5 stars because at one point to me, I'm not the author. To me, she made a really stupid choice. As a spy, she made a really stupid choice. And then I figured out who it was, who the bad guy was, very early on, and I was a little disappointed to find out that I was right. I like to be fooled, but to me it was kind of obvious. But otherwise, I enjoyed the ride. I zoomed through it. If you like fast-paced spy thrillers, spy versus spy kind of thing, this is a great book. Start with the first one, Alias Emma, and that one is a non-stop, like 12 hours across London, trying not to be caught on the CCTV because the Russians have commandeered the camera system there, and she has to get the son of a Russian defector to safety, and the bad guys are after her and can see her on all the cameras. So that one's super good. So I definitely recommend that one. All right. Mary, how many books do you read in a year? You know what? Because I have joined this group of booktubers and doing the reading sprints, I'm having a spectacular year. I used to read maybe, it was a good year if I was reading 60 books in a year, probably less, but I am on track to go over 100 this year, and I credit that to this group. Not only the love of reading, which I am contagious to. I say that I'm not, I don't understand the influencer culture, but I am influenced by moods and enthusiasms. And so being around these reading people so much, I'm excited to be reading again. And then doing the reading sprints gives you dedicated reading time, so you actually getting books done. So this year I am on track to probably do over 100, and I'm just thrilled because there's so many books to read. So what am I reading next? I am still reading. Let's go back to my beginning of the Goodreads. So I am still in the middle of Murder at Queen's Landing by Andrea Penrose, which is a historical mystery series, which I am really, really enjoying. This is the 4th book, I think. And then I have, again, I'm a mood reader. I have the Agathas out from one of the libraries that sounded really interesting, so I'm going to start that. And then I also have Resolve listed here, which is a sci-fi. It's the 5th of 5 in a sci-fi series, and currently I have that on Audible, but we'll see if I can listen to that at work today. But right now I've got those 3 going. And oh, another thing I wanted to show you. I know, I'm just all over the place. I'm so excited. Cajun. Yep, that's kind of, with 5 stars, it's just kind of an easier way to do that. Thank you, thank you. I'm just a happy reader, reading as much as I can. You too can do this, and you're retired. You can do this. I think the reading sprints help us read more because we have that dedicated. Absolutely, absolutely. It has. That's the difference between this year and last year, and I absolutely credit the reading sprints. And you don't necessarily have to read during them if you want to do, call it productivity sprints, creativity sprints, whatever it is. But setting aside that special time to not worry about anything else other than what you're wanting to do in that time period. Great minds think alike. But as I'm jumping from thought to thought, earlier this week in the mail, yikes, I subscribe to if you've read Robert Galbraith's books, which is the pseudonym for J.K. Rowling, her PI series, I love. They're honking huge books because that's what she writes. The new book coming out, I think it's in September. They revealed the cover. The Running Grave. That cover looks pretty cool. I'm excited to read that. I don't know how many pages it's going to be. I wonder if it's listed yet on Goodreads. Let's take a look. I'm gonna guess. Any guesses? Any guesses? I'm gonna guess 1,200. Let's see. 960. Oh, she must be slacking. But I do like a slow burn, hopefully romance. I'm a sucker for True Love Delayed. So that looks like a cool cover. Let us. Okay. Anyway, that was in my email this week, so that's coming up. Let us. Covers play an important part. It really does matter, and you can also kind of tell generational marketing in covers too. I'm thinking right now of like romances, and those cartoonish kind of covers are really popular, which I think as I'm looking at other booktubers on YouTube here, they really love those cute animated cartoony type of covers for rom-com or just romances in general. They don't really appeal to me, but their target is that age group, so it's working. Obviously it's working. For me, I like these kind of atmospheric covers and colors and so forth, which kind of reminds me, let's go back over here. Yeah. This was the new releases for this week, and I remember commenting, you can tell what kind of book it is by the color, even the color coding. If you look at, and these are just the books for this week, look how the reds, let's see, maybe we need to refresh this. Let's see, refresh. Cutting Teeth, look how pretty blue that is, but you know that's going to be a lighter book. Look at all the reds and the yellows and the blacks. So you kind of know those are going to be darker books. Atmospheric, purple, either humor or paranormal. And a lot of the reds and yellows this week. But I was going to be looking at this page of new releases. I'm just hopping around. Keep up. This one is freshfiction.com. Their new releases for this week. They also include like the cozy mysteries and romances that are released this week, where the other page, which is Book Riot, doesn't. So I was gonna hop on here for Friday here to wrap up the week of new releases to see some of those other books that are being released this week, because we always need new books to read. But the thing with this site, the Fresh Fiction site, is you have to be aware sometimes they are re-releases. They're not necessarily new this week. And so you just kind of have to double check if you're interested in them. So here's some of the ones on that site for this week. This one is different. It's listed as a cozy mystery woman sleuth. On sale this week. 2 murders, a century apart. A pearl in a pack rat's nest, and rumors of a lost silver cross create modern problems for Millie Whitehall. Botanist Millie Whitehall and archaeologist Lydia Hamilton are making good progress surveying an old homestead until they discover the body of a missing university professor in the root cellar. Speaking of covers, that cover just doesn't talk to me. Man, don't like that one. It's also cheaper to do the animated covers. Very true, as opposed to hiring a model and staging photos and all the intended processes that accompany all that. Yes, indeed. The other thought I had about covers is I love, every once in a while you'll come across articles or blog posts of different books using the same shot over and over and over again. Like with historical mysteries, I'm thinking particularly of the Victorian ones. Same guy in a top hat. Same guy in a top hat over and over. Silhouette. Yeah, it doesn't look like a cozy cover, does it? It looks like a travel book for a small town. Come to a historic ghost town in Arizona. Whatever. Okay. Blah. Other books. That one we looked at. Before your tween daughter becomes a woman. Oh. Between a Walk and a Dead Place. There's a cozy mystery. Is that one for real coming out this week, or is it a re-release? Leslie Privitz? I think Leslie is from Montana. In Montana. 6 pages. It's the Lunar New Year and fortunes are about to change. Pepper Reese, owner of the Spice Shop in Seattle's Pike Place Market, loves a good festival. We have to tell Tiffany about this, especially one serving up tasty treats. So what could be more fun than a food walk in the city's Chinatown International District celebrating the Year of the Rabbit? But when her friend Roxanne stumbles across a man's body, don't you hate that? In the Gold Rush, a long-closed residential hotel, questions leap out. Who was he? What was he doing in the dust-encrusted herbal pharmacy in the hotel's basement? I bet they are going to find out. A cool cover too. Fantasy epic. Oh, I love fantasy. But we're gonna stick to mysteries. Buried in the Stacks, horror mystery. Horror? Talk about covers. Does that look like a horror? A haunted library mystery. They're calling that horror? Librarian Carrie Singleton is building a haven, but one of her neighbors is misbehaving. Can resident spirit Evelyn help Carrie catch the culprit who made her a ghost? I bet so. But yeah, that cover. I think that's miscategorized. Although, on the Tiffany scale, maybe that's tipping it. I heard talking about that on the Cozy Corner with Alexia Gordon podcast, and it sounded really interesting. Spice Shop one. Yeah. And hopefully you learn stuff about spices. I mean, that's one of the reasons why that kind of cozy interests me. Cutting Teeth, Philip Gregory, Love Historicals, Don Lands, Deadly Frost, Romance Suspense, Death at the Manor, Mystery Historical, my kind of book. Science fiction, Ethereal Grave, that looks good. Every Rising Sun, Face, science fiction dystopian. That looks like modern artwork that you would put on a wall. Historical mystery, Fatal Legacy, I think you looked at that one. Romance fantasy, Romantasy, Fury of Misfortune. You know that's going to be spicy. Grayson's Vow, Romance Contemporary. Groupies, Coming of Age. Let's check out that. That looks like 70s. Yep. In a debut perfect for fans of Daisy Jones and the Six. That's a smart person. Bright light on the grungy yet glittery world of 1970s rock and roll and the women, the groupies, who unapologetically love too much in a world that doesn't love them back. It's 1977 and Fawn Novak is in love with rock and roll. After her mother's death, Fawn, a naive college dropout, grabs her Polaroid and hops a Greyhound to Los Angeles. In the City of Angels, she reconnects with her charismatic stop jumping childhood friend Josie, now an up-and-coming model and muse. Well, that jumping is making me crazy. That sounds fun, but very much like that one movie. But that one might be worth checking out. History's Angels. We looked at that one. I know what you did. Mystery Amateur Sleuth by Casey Osborne, I'm thinking. Fantasy, dark. I made it once. Short stories, don't like that. Kia Dawes' second act. Meet Me at the Wedding, romance contemporary. See, there's that cartoonish type cover. My Wife is Missing, thriller. I don't like domestic thrillers. Never Back Down, women's fiction. It's more like a thriller to me. Women Prayed Over Their Graves, historical. I love historicals, but that sounds depressing. I'm not going to check that one out. Not by Blood, thriller domestic. One of the Boys, women's fiction, thriller crime. Okay. Onlookers, short story. Only Good Enemies, science fiction. I have this one actually out from the library. That one is on my nearest TBR. Queen Wallace, women's fiction. Resonance Surge, paranormal romance, fantasy. Reward System, science fiction, fantasy anthology. Nah, not a big fan of anthologies. Give me a good epic. Sammy Espinosa's Last Review, women's fiction romance. Silver Nitrate, thriller, paranormal, supernatural, suspense, gothic, paranormal. Let's add some more categories. Is there a romance in there? Come on now. Look at that one. Sir Hereward and Mr. Fitz. Yep, had to be Garth Nix with Fitz in there. Short stories. Take the Honey and Run. Cozy. That one wasn't in the other one. Beekeeping Mystery. Doesn't say where it is in the series. I'm sure, Cajun, you might have. Have you read that one? The town is all abuzz when a murder occurs in Jenny Mark's debut cozy mystery, perfect for fans of Jen McKinley and Amanda Flower. As a successful mystery author, Bailey Briggs writes about murder, but nothing prepares her for actually discovering the dead body at the stock jumping of the founder of her hometown of Humble Hills, Colorado. Bailey grew up at Honeybuzz Mountain Ranch and was raised by her beekeeping grandmother, Blossom Briggs, aka Granny Bee, and her two eccentric sisters, Aster and Marigold, which is why she drops everything to come home and help Granny Bee after a bad fall. Oh, all kinds of goodness in that one. All right. Blinding thriller crime. Bitter Past, Bruce Borbos. That one I think is just being released in paperback, maybe. I used to read Daniel Silva, and then he got preachy. I just want to be entertained. Just let me read a mystery. Stop preaching at me. The Cypress Maze, women's fiction time slip. Hold the phone. In this haunting tale from the best-selling author of The Storyteller of Casablanca, Beatrice kept a wartime secret to protect the innocent. Now, could telling it set her free? Tuscany, 1943. Stranded in war-ravaged Italy, Beatrice's dream of as an escapist year teaching English is shattered. Granted shelter at the Villa del Colombe, she seeks refuge in Francesca and Eduardo's beautiful stock-jumping walled garden, hidden from the outside world with an elaborate cypress maze at its heart. But Beatrice is not the only one seeking an escape here. Francesca has brought children to the safety of the house, as well as other adults, all of them seeking sanctuary on the estate with its mysterious maze. As the war closes in, the residents are forced to witness and do unthinkable things. And then it comes to a modern-day 2015. Tessa arrives at the Villa Raw from the agonizing loss of her husband. Beatrice, now custodian, guides her to the solace of its gardens where Tess begins to heal. But all hope of peace is shattered by the arrival. And I just noticed the time, so we gotta get going. So yeah, if you want to check out any of those websites for new releases, that one in particular is freshfiction.com, and then the other one is bookriot.com. And we'll go through next week, we'll go through the new releases for that week. And I hope you guys have good things to read. Just a reminder that unofficially I'm filling in for Sarah tomorrow afternoon. Sarah has an event that she's going to. So I'm going to be doing some reading sprints tomorrow starting at 1 o'clock my time, Mountain Time, so 3 o'clock Eastern Time. And we'll go for a couple hours. And we'll chat about what we're reading, and we'll just get a whole bunch of reading done. I hope everybody has a good Friday. Thank you. You too. I'll see you in about 90 minutes, Mary. So just remember, you don't get good person points if you're reading something you're not enjoying. And choose love, not fear or hate. And go forth and read. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.